Hey, I'm Mary Kay, and welcome to day 3 of Fee Fabrics, Hacking Alexandria by Made for Mermaids. I'm going to show you how to create the top portion of your dress today. I am mashing it with Mama Isabel to create a faux wrap dress. We also have a tutorial showing you how to use the Cora culottes to create a romper and to split the pattern into 2 separate pieces to create a 2-piece swimsuit. So if you're looking for either of those, they are in this same post. You can access them there. The first thing that we need to do is we need to attach, well, I should say this first. I'm going to show you how, I'm all about insertable bra cups in all of my tops. And I'm going to show you a way, I'm not sure I've ever covered the side entrance before, but anyway, I'm going to show you a way that you can create a cup for those. You will have cut a lining, which is the full front piece, and you will need to cut a tech sheen piece that comes down to the shelf bra line. You'll need to attach those 2 pieces together, the lining and the shelf bra, so that not the lining and the shelf bra, the lining and a power net or tech sheen, so that the tech sheen is sewn to the wrong side of the lining. And then you will need to use something to just create a semicircle or an arc in the side so that you could, of the lining, so that you can insert the cups right in here. So let me show you a couple of pictures of what that looks like. Now we're going to set those pieces aside and we're going to work on the outer fabric for a little bit. If you're attaching a flounce, now is when we attach that. You attach the wrong side of the flounce to the right side of the outer fabric, starting in the upper corner, and work your way down until you run out of flounce. You should see that it does not reach all the way to the edge of your front piece. It's about 1 inch away from the edge. You're going to baste this with your sewing machine. Now that you've attached the flounce with a basting stitch to the long side, you'll also attach it the short side. Now that we have our ruffle basted to, our flounce basted to our outer front fabric, we need to create the straps. So you'll need to turn those right sides together, simply fold it in half lengthwise, and serge along here. I'm going to use a 3/8 inch seam allowance because I want my straps to be kind of tiny. Once you get them serged, you'll need to turn them right sides out. Now that you have your straps completed, you're going to need to baste your strap. Can you see that? Baste your strap in the center of your front piece with the flounce. These are pieces of wash away wonder tape that I have on here that I'm going to use in the next step. Once you get your flounces basted on, you're going to need to attach your lining that your tech sheen or power net is basted to. You're going to need to attach it to your front piece. You'll notice that I have the right side of the lining touching the right side of the fabric, and the tech sheen or power net is on what is now the outside. I've started with my other side. And as you can see, I'm going to sew the outside first. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to have to move this over. It's going to be not difficult, but you're going to have to use some finagling. But I'm going to come back and attach this side, and I'm going to have to pull on my lining because in an earlier step they had you cut some of the width off of your lining so that it would pull to the inside and not show on the outside. But I'll show you that in just a minute. I'm going to go get these two side seams right here done real quick, and then I'll show you how I'm going to pull to attach the longer side. Now that I have my short side finished, I'm going to need to attach my long side. And I don't know if I said this earlier, I cannot remember if I filmed a segment about basting after you stitch your shelf bra line of your power net to your lining. It's good to baste these two pieces together. Of course, you aren't going to baste it on the opening where we cut our insert for our bra cup, but to baste the power net to the lining, that helps tremendously. So up here, this is the tricky little edge. I've got some Wash Away Wonder tape on the side I'm going to be working on now. And I'm simply going to just pull this over to meet that. So you can see how it's kind of skewed right here. But when we get to the point where we're going to sew across here, we're going to stretch this so it's much neater. So anyway, I just pull that over like that on the long side, and then just attach as normal. I did find when I was sewing the long side, because of the flounce, if you're using the flounce, you may want to every once in a while adjust the flounce so that the material near the edge is straighter, just so you don't get any wrinkles in your flounce. So I'll go sew these long sides up, and then we'll get finished. Now it's time to attach our back pieces together. I've clipped these together right sides together, and because we're not following the instructions exactly, we are going to need to smooth out this little corner right here on each upper side, just to make that transition a little bit smoother when we sew the front to the back. So I'll go sew these together, and then I'll show you how to attach the front to the back. So now I'm going to take one piece of my front and my back, and I'm going to match up the lining sides all the way across and match up the front sides, being certain that my wonky little seam here meets in the center. So I'm going to do that, and it's fiddly. I'm going to do that for both sides. Then I'll show you how to take care of this little end. So just let me repeat that. Don't sew them yet, just attach them together at this point. Be sure you're attaching lining to lining and the right side to the front side to the side that's showing to the side that will be showing in the back. Now that I have these clipped together, I'm going to sew right up to about midway on the front the outside pieces. So I'm going to sew all across the lining, around to the outer pieces, and I'll stop about right here, and I'll show you how to wedge the crossover pieces into that. Now we have this nice string of fabric that doesn't look like very much, right? So you're going to turn everything right side out, and you can do this loosely. This doesn't have to be perfect at this point. I see I need to smooth these little transitions out. This is the inside, and this little transition between the back and the front, I still need to smooth it out a little more. It looks worse from the outside, but I still need to smooth that out a little more. But what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that you have this on, and you're going to determine which side is going to be the front crossover. For me, I like for my right to cross over my left. So this is going to be the outside. I'm going to find the ends, and I'm going to pin my crossover to my outside fabric on the opposite side. See how those line up like that? Then very daintily, I will do the same thing with the opposite side, being certain that this goes underneath. And I don't have to line it up perfectly right now. I just have to know where it needs to be sewn to. Okay, so then I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to flip the sides back inside out. And I'm going to line everything up the way I have it pinned. So in other words, I've got this part pinned to the front here. I'm not going to pin it together because I'm losing it, and I'll sew across here. That finishes the front for today. I'll see you tomorrow.